Are you ready?
Yeah. Woo!
Hey everyone, for WrestleTrivia, I'm your host, Kevin J. Callis.
Hell yeah.
And you're watching episode 51 of Wrestling Jeopardy, the interactive game show where you're the contestant.
Becky.
What is ask?
That is correct, yes.
And as always, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. Now let's go to the board and check out the categories that you'll be quizzed on. Starting with, Lucky Charms. Followed by Green with Envy. Our third category is Name That Last Kicker. Up next, Fight Nights. And our fifth and final category, our Member Category of the Week, as voted on by all the wee little leprechauns who are members of this channel. And if you'd like to be a part of the creative process, please make sure you click on the Join button below. The choices this episode were the Prince of Ireland, the Belfast Bruiser, and the Celtic Warrior. And the big winner that secured that pot of gold this week is the Celtic Warrior. This category will be all about Sheamus.
Everybody ready?
And that's how it means it's time for the 200-point Jobber round. This is the easiest round in Wrestling Jeopardy. Let's dive in and kick things off with the first clue from Lucky Charms. Some might say that this Belfast Bruiser's good luck charm was his leprechaun son, but it was actually his trusty shillelagh. He loves to fight, and his name is Finley. We move on now to the second clue of the Jobber round from Green with Envy. Thanks to a prank by former friend Dean Ambrose, this wrestler's quest to regain his stolen Money in the Bank briefcase resulted in him covered in gobs of green goo. And it was slime time for Seth freaking Rollins. I guess I should just say Seth Rollins. No more freaking. The third clue of the Jobber round brings us to Name This Last Kicker. She is the man, she is Becky Lynch. On to Fight Nights for 200. This Swiss Superman learned the true meaning of teamwork while pummeling a few unruly pub patrons back in 2016. And that would be, who is Cesaro?
I have a vodka martini, shaken, not stirred.
And we finish up the Jobber round with the clue from the Celtic Warrior. In 2009, Sheamus sent this wrestler sailing through a table to become the first ever Irish-born WWE World Heavyweight Champion. Who is John Cena? And we're moving on. It's time for the second round. Each clue worth 400 points. A symbol of good luck in many countries, especially India, Jinder Mahal's first official WWE t-shirt was adorned with this animal. What is an elephant? Time for some more Green with Envy for 400. In 2022, Glenn Jacobs debunked the urban legend that Kane was going to sport green gear when he was a WWE Tag Team Champion with this D-Generation X member. Now there's blue Kane, there's cocaine. Fans thought there could have been a green Kane when he was teamed up with X-Pac. Here comes the second clue from Name That Last Kicker. And she is the first ever Women's Intercontinental Champion, who is Lyra Valkyria. On to Fight Nights for the second time. The 2022 Extreme Rules pay-per-view opened with a good old-fashioned Donnybrook match between the Brawling Brutes and this faction. And the correct answer, who is Imperium? And let's finish up the 400-point round with another clue about Sheamus. This dangerous collection of foreign-born superstars included Sheamus, Alberto Del Rio, Rusev, and King Barrett. And they were known as the League of Nations. Alright, 10 questions down, 15 to go, plus the Daily Double and Final Jeopardy.
Come on, man. How much fun are you having, huh?
We move on to the 600-point round now, with this clue from Lucky Charms. This 600-pound plus giant was a legend of the squared circle with his trademark beard, overalls, and lucky horseshoe around his neck. Who was Haystacks Calhoun? Here comes the third clue from the category Green with Envy. This wrestler was forced to change the name of her now defunct podcast in 2021 after receiving a cease and desist letter from the owner of 50 Shades of Grey. I salute her, the one and only Chelsea Green. Here comes Name That Last Kicker for 600. Some might say that she was the original WWE Last Kicker, who is Velvet McIntyre. And we passed the halfway mark and we're on to Fight Nights for 600. Located in this Florida city, Irish Shannon's Pub was used as the setting for the bar fight between Jeff Hardy and Sheamus in July of 2020. Of course, this was during the first few months of COVID where everybody basically congregated down to Florida, specifically the most magical place in the world. What is Orlando? All right, what do you say we finish off the 600-point round now with the third clue from the Celtic Warrior? In June 2013, Sheamus and this wrestler competed in the very first Dublin street fight in SmackDown history. Who is Damien Sandow? And now we begin the 800-point round. Hornswoggle's box of Lucky Charms cereal had an adverse effect on this comedic duo when they hosted Raw back in 2010. I don't know what that box of cereal was laced with, but maybe it was hippie lettuce. I don't know. It was pretty trippy, though, for the comedic duo of Cheech and Chong. We're on to Green with Envy for 800. All right, here we go. It's the Daily Double. Do you feel lucky, punk?
Yeah!
And time is up. Here comes the Daily Double clue from Green with Envy. Perennial WWF jobbers Dwayne Gill and Barry Hardy donned green costumes and transformed into this tag team for one night only back in 1993. Cowabunga, they were heroes in a half shell.
Are you serious?
Not really. The correct answer, who were the Toxic Turtles? On to Name That Last Kicker for 800 points. Yes, this is Becky Lynch. No, that is not the correct answer. What was Becky's original ring name? And she was called Rebecca Knox. On to Fight Nights for 800 points. An assault from this stable on Tyler Bate and Butch resulted in a 6-man tag team pub rules match on an episode of NXT 2.0 back in October of 2023. And the name of the stable rhymes with Callus. Who is Gallus? Here comes the final clue before the 1,000-point main event round. Prior to signing with WWE, Sheamus served as a security guard on an episode of Raw in 2006 and wound up on the receiving end of this finishing maneuver. Raw was emanating that night from Manchester in the United Kingdom. Wade Barrett was also a security guard, and they tried to break up some chaos caused by Degeneration X, and Sheamus wound up taking a pedigree.
And this security guard just got his pedigree checked.
Hey, Oof!
Yeah.
Please hit my music.
Yeet.
And we've reached the most difficult round in Wrestling Jeopardy, but not for you this week. I feel you have the luck of the Irish on your side.
Will you pull my leg?
No.
With that being said, these 5 questions are guaranteed to put your wrestling knowledge to the test.
I'm nervous.
We begin with Lucky Charms for the final time. Both symbols of good fortune, CM Punk has tattoos of a 4-leaf clover and a koi fish located on this specific part of his body. And that would be his left forearm. On to Green with Envy for the final time. John Cena has gone with green for his choice of t-shirt at these 3 WrestleManias. And that would be WrestleMania 28 versus The Rock, WrestleMania 34 versus The Undertaker, and the Firefly Funhouse match at WrestleMania 36. And we're on to Name That Last Kicker for the final time. And this Irish firecracker has done some work in AEW and Ring of Honor. Her name is Session Moth Martina. Here comes the last clue from Fight Nights. The Easter Bunny was one of the many unsuccessful participants that got decimated during the APA Barroom Invitational at this 2003 WWE pay-per-view. And of course, Farouk and Bradshaw won this invitational, which was held at 2003's Vengeance pay-per-view. One clue left on the board before Final Jeopardy. Here comes the 1,000-point clue from the Celtic Warrior. Sheamus is one of 3 superstars in WWE history to win the Money in the Bank, King of the Ring, Royal Rumble, and WWE Championship. Who are the other 2 wrestlers? And that would be the Rated R Superstar Edge and Brock Lesnar. Alright, that does it. The board has been wiped cleaner and clearer than Sheamus's milky white skin.
I'll tell you what, you and me laughing so hard.
We're on to Final Jeopardy now. This episode's category is Celebrity Jeopardy. You may have an idea where I'm going with this. If not, well, maybe you should try and be a little conservative. But I always say, just go for it. Push all your chips in, bet it all, place your wager now. All right, time is up. Here's the Final Jeopardy clue. In 2023, Becky Lynch appeared as a contestant on Celebrity Jeopardy, facing off against Home Alone actor Macaulay Culkin and this Saturday Night Live alum. Was it A, Amy Poehler, B, Maya Rudolph, C, Rachel Dratch, or D, Tina Fey? Good luck. Big Time Bex continued to make history. She failed to answer any of the first 60 questions correctly. However, the winner that night was Saturday Night Live alum Rachel Dratch. And that does it for another episode of Wrestling Jeopardy! Have a few pints for me this weekend. My name is Kevin J. Callis.
Yeah.
And I'll see you next time.